I would like to ask you if you think that in the past years, Toronto FC has been able to eliminate or some Mexican teams, like in 2018 or now Leon. And do you think that you have a real chance to do the same against the best Liga MX team this tournament? Thank you so much.
Yeah. I think from the past year in 2018 when we had a good run against, some top teams in Liga MX, we were able to compete and battle with them, and I think the same for Leon. We got a big point in Mexico, and then we came home and, we battled. We stuck it to them. We fought for the whole 90 plus minutes. We didn't, just sit back. We played our style. We came at them, put them under pressure, and, we're going to do the same thing for Cruz Azul. We're going to battle. We're going to fight. We're not going to sit back. We're going to be out there on top of them. So hopefully, we can continue this good run that we have going on and get a result.
Neil Davidson.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark, for taking the time to speak to us today. I know that your team has made a point of saying that there are no excuses this season, being in Florida, et cetera, not being at home. But I wonder if you could just tell us, how difficult has this preseason been in terms of you've had to move, there was the COVID outbreak with players and staff, you haven't had many competitive games. Where do you feel the team is at now, given that somewhat unsettled opening?
Yeah, it's been a tough preseason for everyone, given that we didn't have, realistically, we only had 2 preseason games and then straight into CONCACAF against a good club like Leon, and we came out with a point. And then we had the COVID outbreak, which at that point, guys were getting their fitness up. We were feeling well, but then we had that point. Then guys were stuck inside, having to quarantine, and then we had, once we were released, I believe like a little over a week for our game against Leon, and guys, mental strength was there, it was up there. We were pushing, we were fighting, taking care of ourselves at home, doing the right things, eating the right things to get our bodies ready for that match and so forward. So I think, given everything we had to go through, we're in a good place. Mind over matter, always, and that'll take you places. So I think we continue with that, we'll be in a good spot.
Steve Buffer.
How you doing, Mark? Just curious, you're a veteran player, so what's the key? How does a team get over a quick turnaround like that when you're playing a very good side coming up in a tournament format? I mean, as a guy who's been around for a while, what does a team do, concentrate on to prepare for an important match only 3 days away?
It's a short and quick turnaround. Honestly, it's recovery. Taking, like I said, eating the right things. Staying off your feet as much as possible. Mentally sleeping, so that way the brain can rest, the body can recover, do what the body does in recovering, and just doing everything possible to get your body ready for the upcoming match, given we only have 2 days realistically to turn it around, and then the third day we got to go all out. So that's a big key in getting your body right. Every minute matters, every hour matters, in the recovery process between these games when there's a quick turnaround. So, yeah.
James Grossi. Thanks. Mark, the bracket gods don't seem to be doing you guys any favors, from the defending champions to the current league leaders. What kind of a game are you expecting from Cruz Azul tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really favors us, but, we tell our own story. So, nobody can do that for us. So we write our own stories. So we're the ones who step out on that field, and we're the ones who can control what's going to happen out there. So, we just got to prepare the best we can for what's to come, do our homework and, find solutions, find the answers and how we can be effective, how we can be our best on the day against a good team like Cruz Azul. So, we do that, we get our bodies right, and come game time, we have to be effective in every way. We got to be sharp. We got to be ready to go. Come time that the whistle goes. So, yeah.
General Unara.
Hi, Mark. Hope you're keeping safe, and thanks for talking to us today. Just wondering, because you're on a yellow card picked up from the last game against Club Leon. So if you earn another one, that would make you ineligible for the second leg. In light of Chris's sort of aggressive pressing style, I'm just wondering, does that sort of weigh in your mind? Do you kind of scale back that aggressiveness, knowing that, if you do get that yellow card, you could sort of miss the second leg, or does it change? Does the yellow card change your approach at all?
Not really. I still want to be aggressive, still, want to be effective in plays, not letting them off the hook at all, and not giving them easy outs, just got to be smart, like you say, as a veteran player, you got to be smart in the way you react to calls or the way you go into tackles. You always have that in the back of your mind that you're on a yellow and you have, the possibility of missing the next game if you get another one. So that's always going to be there on my mind going into the match, going into tackles, not all calls may go our way. So we got to watch the way we, react, which I wasn't too smart about the last match. It was a soft call and I reacted out of hand. So I'll be, more mindful of that going into this match.
Michael Leach.
Hey, Mark, thanks for doing this. You've been with the club obviously for a long time. It seems like this club in the past has always sort of found its identity under the greatest moments of adversity. Is that still the case? Is that sort of the mentality of the club under Chris?
100%. I think, with a club like ours and the players we have, once, we're put in situations of adversity, where players need to step out of their comfort zone. I think that's where we're at our best. You have to step out of your comfort zone to make that next play, to make a difference. And I think, we're always up for that challenge, especially with Chris. And, we're having a different system now, and he's always challenging us to get out of our comfort zone in trainings and just pushing us just out of our comfort zone and pushing the boundaries. And I think that's been big for us. And, things will eventually start coming around once guys get more comfortable, and, it'll eventually come around. So I have a clear mind, and I am 100% confident in things, that the way things are being run here and the way things are going here. So, we just keep pushing forward and we keep moving forward.
Michael Saint.
Thanks, Alejandra. Hey, Mark. Thanks for doing this. And you mentioned Chris's system there. I've noticed that you've been playing a little bit more on the right-hand side, a little bit more on the outside than in years past. How are you finding that role? And I guess, how are you adjusting to that?
I'm more on the right side, not too far out, but, I come inside and still I'm still in my element. You know, I'm still drifting inside the midfield, or I can, you know, spread, you know, give us some width in the bigger picture when needed to. Yeah, I've played the position before when I was, you know, a few years back when I was working my way in, getting some minutes with, you know, previous years. And now with more experience and being out of that comfort zone, I've learned, you know, the ins and outs of different positions. And I really, you know, it's nothing new to me. You know, so being on the left side and, you know, making my way over to the right side, there's no difference at all for me. You know, I can adjust and still be effective in many ways. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. I feel very, I guess you can say, free in my movement and the way I play and my connections with Richie or whoever's on the right side, you know, and the forward as well. So, you know, I just continue to find pockets like I always do. And like I said, Chris is pushing me to, you know, be aware of where I am, take the space forward, be able to turn, you know, be more direct, you know, how can you be effective? How can you be the guy that can make a difference on the day? So I always got that on the back of my mind.
One last question for James Cressy.
Thanks again. Mark, you know, the situation's reversed in this series. You guys play at home first and then travel down to Mexico. How important is it to establish yourselves in this first leg?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
You guys play the first leg at home this series as opposed to last time when you had the second leg at home. Yeah. How important is it to establish yourselves in this first leg?
Oh yeah, it's always a big game when you're playing at home, especially when it's the first leg. You know, we want to get a result to put ourselves in a good position on the away leg, on the second leg. So, you know, we got to be sharp from minute one. We got to be ready, attentive to details, and, you know, not fall asleep at all in any second or minute of the match. So, you know, we got to be at our best, and we got to be on top of that. And, you know, the communication to one another has to be there right from the, you know, the first whistle. So, you know, and then from that, we got 90 minutes plus to go at them and, you know, hope, you know, get a result ultimately.
You're facing another Mexican team in a rich vein of form. They're leading the standings right now. Can you give us your take on Cruz Azul? What makes them such a dangerous opponent?
Yeah, look, we're excited for the matchup. We were excited for the León matchup. We knew it would pose certain challenges for us, and now this poses lots of different challenges for us that we think we will be ready for. But we are excited on the inside here at TFC. Look, we know that it's a team that they've been hard to beat. They've they've been on quite a run. They're a powerful team. They're a team that plays very direct, which it makes it difficult. But we do know it will be about field position and understanding where they want to play the game and how they get there. So easier said than done, but we think we have a good understanding of what we'll be up against. It's really about us and executing now.
Steve Buffer.
How you doing, Chris?
Good, Steve. You?
Not bad, thanks.
Great.
I'm just curious, and unless I've read this wrong, that game is a 10 p.m. start. As a guy who's been a coach for a while, what do you do to prepare for a match that starts that late?
I think you just don't make much of it, right? Otherwise, it falls in that bucket of excuses that we talk about avoiding. So, you know, on the day, it's a long day. So we try not to put too much on the schedule, you know, and we have scheduled things in a way where the players, it feels like a real home game. So the players are around family, they have some downtime. There's no overloading of information on the day. So we do try to create a situation where there's time for the players, again, avoiding so many, if you don't get that right, it's you wake up, you have a meal, a meeting, a meal, you eat all day long and all this. So it's downtime is for the players. We encourage, a nap midday, and we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go.
John Molinaro.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for doing this. Hope you are keeping safe down there. Just wondering if there's any update on Alejandro and Chris Mavinga. Might we see one or both of them tomorrow, or are they still? I know you said last week they're getting close. I mean, are we there yet, or is it going to be a little bit more time?
Alejandro had some imaging today of so we'll get to see where he's at. Not quite there yet. Chris is back in full training, so we'll make that decision how to use him, but we will make sure we also are cautious at the same time with Chris. We want him back in and not looking back at all, and then look ahead to lots of games and action coming. So we'll make a decision how we use Chris, but we're excited to have him available.
James Grossi.
Thanks, Alejandra. Chris, the situation's reversed from the last round. You guys are playing the first leg at home and the second leg down in Mexico. How do you go about navigating these two-leg series? Do you play it safe in that first game and make sure you don't give up the away goal, or do you really look to maximize that home field?
I think that we have to understand it's at the end of 90 minutes, it's halftime, right? That nothing, there's things you can do that you certainly can, it could cost you in leg one, but in all my experiences, as a player, as a coach, watching Champions League in Europe, we have to stick to who we are and go after leg one. Which means we're going to be aggressive and be in attack mode. So playing it safe, I don't know how to coach that. I don't know how to talk about that, because I think that gets you in trouble. Passive defending, passiveness in general. So you can expect us to be aggressive in attack. And we have an experienced group, lots of players that have played in Champions League CCL final. So much of what that game will require is built in. But on our home field here, in let's call it our home field, we must take care of leg one in an intelligent, aggressive way.
Neil Davidson.
Chris, just following up on that, is Raymond James Stadium confirmed as the venue for the game?
It's not confirmed as far as I know it yet. There's just some couple little details being sorted out, but we'll know quite shortly where we'll be playing the match.
Steve Buffrey.
Chris, a bit of a bizarre question, but you guys have a visitor at training the other day, somebody crawling across your field, and is that a normal situation down there in Florida?
I mean, a visitor, you mean an alligator? Listen, all I can tell you is this. There was an alligator, massive alligator. And my players are running towards the alligator as I went the other way. So, listen, we talk about being fearless and aggressive around here, but I thought we would, not think about that at that moment. It's maybe par for the course here in Florida when you're by water, but it was I think it was cool for the guys to see, really up close and personal. It's kind of a cool way to start training. But yeah, it was kind of cool to stay away too,
Leon Lecanda.
Thank you so much. Chris, thank you for taking the time. This is Leon Lecanda for ESPN Mexico. I would like to ask you, in the past recent years, Toronto FC has been able to eliminate some Mexican teams, as in the 2018 edition. It wasn't you as a head coach, but they managed to eliminate Tigres and America, and they were very close from winning the championship against Chivas. And right now you have eliminated León, that it was the recent champion of the Liga MX, and you are facing now Cruz Azul, that is the the first team in the position during the regular season. So I would like to ask you if these statistics counts for you as a head coach, and if in this matter, does this really will change the way that you are playing against Cruz Azul, because they have not been defeated in the past 16 games? Thank you so much. I think if you understand my question, sorry about that.
It's a good question. Listen, I think we all understand in CONCACAF and in our Champions League, and even when it's now Canada, USA, Mexico, in our region of the world, it's getting closer. And when I was a player, there was many good games with USA and Mexico, and it became a big rivalry because it was top teams coming together in big games. So I think there is a lot of respect for, let's call it USA, Canada, Mexico, for the players, the quality, the competitions, the coaching. Years and years ago, it was a big gap, and there's no question that the gap is narrow now. And now you can even see LAFC, what they do last, the run that they had, and not just being able to win games, but to win decisively. We think that they fall short, but we thought they were the best team and could have won it all. So that's, again, player profiles, the MLS teams in general, with the monies of TAM and GAM, we're able to purchase different types of players of different qualities, so we can go after the tournament in a real way. We've seen it now with LAFC and Toronto, even in New York with the Red Bulls. We were able to push in the tournament. So I think that it's realistic that we can go after these games with full confidence now, from not just internally like confidence, but from experiencing success. Here in Toronto, again, there's a lot of players that have had success, and because they're good players. They're smart players. They've been part of their national teams, and they've understood games of this magnitude and what the demands are. In terms of Cruz Azul, look, they are a good team, and they've been able to push through their league, and they've been in tight games, but they've been able to experience success and be consistent with that by being very direct, playing the game in opposition's half, and overpowering teams with this tactic and style of play. So it's pretty clear that they're a good team and how they go about that. So, like against Leon, we understand the challenge, and it's easy to talk about it, but we understand that we have enough. We have a team is ready. We're getting healthier, and we have a lot of confidence that we can put them in a difficult game.
Molinaro.
Thanks, Alejandra. Chris, how concerned, if at all, are you that, Michael, I think it's Mark, and there's someone else, they're all on yellow cards. So potentially they get, if they pick up another one, they are, suspended for the next game. I know you said you don't know how to coach guys or, tell them to be passive, but I mean, how much of a concern is that?
Ralph Priso is the other one. And
Thank
so we have to be mindful, right? You never want to take, you never want to just burn a yellow and mindlessly. And, you got to be smart and understand what part of the field you are in. And they understand that. The players will understand that. But at the same time, there's times when, you have to take a yellow, right? The game tactically, or you make a foul that, it might help you preserve a victory. So now, again, you don't want to, you have to let the players know, and those players specifically, right? You don't want other players taking any type of yellow cards that are that there's no thought behind it, right? Where you're throwing the ball away for no reason, or you're kicking the ball away, or you grab a jersey 100 yards from our goal where it makes no sense, or talking back to a referee. These things we can control, and we trust that our players will understand that, we will prepare for that. So again, we don't want that on the players' minds too much. We just have to be really disciplined in general with every player, and especially those guys.
Giancarlo Aulino.
Thanks, Alejandra. Hi, Chris. You spoke on the quality of play of Cruz Azul. Just curious, what area do you feel you match up best with them?
Well, I think we match up best with them to probably use their strength against them. Without saying too much, I think that they commit numbers forward, so that makes them very dangerous. But anytime you can, it becomes a day of second balls and things like this, and you can connect some passes to secure the ball and hurt them in transition. We've seen that they can be vulnerable that way. So say transition is something we can create. We did it against Leon. We do it every single game. Now, how good can we be in transition, turn them around and make them uncomfortable?
One last question, David Espinosa.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. David Espinosa from Fox Sports in Mexico. I want to know what's the message that you can send to all the fans, obviously to all the media, and also to Cruz Azul, that your team has all the weapons and tools to be the one to end this sweet moment of this Mexican team. Thank you.
Look, the message I would send is to TFC and us, that there's a lot of internal belief in what we're doing. There's a big commitment to, each and every day that the boys are sticking together. They step on the field with total belief and clarity to what we're trying to accomplish. And this gives us a lot of confidence that we can go into a game and win. That we can go into a game and stick to what we're trying to do. And that in itself, it puts us in positions for success. And at the same time, it does it by understanding the opposition and putting them in a really difficult game when they have the ball and when we have the ball. So this gives us confidence. So it gives us more confidence is that players like Michael Bradley and Josie, and you can go down the list, Omar Gonzalez, some of these guys have been in games like this, big games against opposition that is talented and equipped to put us in difficult games. And so we understand what those games are like and that we've been there before. So, we're going to a match and the message internally is we have full belief that we can attack the opposition and put ourselves in a position to move on. Understanding that, yes, we have a lot of respect for our opposition. We don't take that for granted, but we love the opportunity that's in front of us, and we will attack it. We will attack the opportunity and we'll go after it.